Yo, guys, Urb'n Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And this time, people, here at Urb'n Barz, we're not talking music, we are talking the Paris Olympics 2024. And we are literally talking about the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics 2024. And guys, no doubt most of you have already seen what's happened. I haven't actually seen what's happened. I've heard lots and lots and lots of bits and pieces what's happened about the sketch, which was the drag show version of The Last Supper, the scene from Leonardo da Vinci of The Last Supper. And there's been a lot of hoo-ha and uproar about it, people. So guys, apparently today France has come out and apologized for this. So this video is going to look about what the apology is all about and just a few thoughts on myself here at Urb'n Barz about the situation, about this opening ceremony and how it has been an attack on the Christian religion. So guys, let's check it out.
To the gender parity subject, one is not, so I think
and clearly there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. On the contrary, I think that Thomas Joly really tried to really intend to celebrate community tolerance. That was his word yesterday, and looking at the result of the polls that we shared, we believe that this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are of course really sorry.
It was a ceremony like no other, and those are games like no other. I think that our hosts, it's easy for me to say, and we should all be grateful and thankful, they have put together a vision for these games, which is unprecedented. It's an incredible vision for games. We're trying to showcase that in the best possible way.
Mais notre intention.
So this, I think, is the guy behind the vision and the art of the scene with the drag queens. I think they were all drag queens. I haven't actually seen the scene 100%. I've seen a couple of photographs. So I know there was one person from RuPaul's, and I think the other people were from the France drag race. That's all I know about it, people. So I don't know exactly who was in it, but they were doing their own version, their own depiction of the Last Supper between Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples. So this guy, and his name is Thomas Joly, is now explaining his reasons behind, and he's saying our intention was never to be impertinent or to be subversive, as I said earlier. So guys, if you can read what he's saying, then I'm going to comment on this at the end.
N'a jamais été d'être impertinent ou d'être subversif, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure. Notre idée, c'est simplement que oui, dans cette grande diversité, il y a besoin d'être conjointement, nous avons en tout cas voulu nous conjointement inclure tout le monde. Voilà. En France, la création artistique est libre, c'est le premier article de la loi sur la liberté de création. J'en profite comme d'autres libertés en France, dans ce pays, on a la chance de ça. Il n'y avait pas de volonté pour moi de passer de messages plus, militants. C'était simplement des messages républicains. En France, on a le droit de s'aimer comme on veut, avec qui on veut. En France, on a le droit de croire ou de ne pas croire. En France, on a beaucoup de droits, voilà. Et c'était l'idée de faire transparaître ces valeurs-là à travers la cérémonie.
So, and thank you for the star for taking this. But I'm going to go back to the very start of this, people, and just give some of my own viewpoints about this. So that was meant to be an apology. And I think it was meant to be from the various high-ups in France to apologise to over 2 billion Christians. I doubt very sincerely if this had been aimed at potentially the Muslim or another religion, they would have done this. But it seems that they think it's okay and fine to mock another religion, particularly the Christian religion, because they can, and they know that the Christians aren't going to say anything about it. But a lot of Christians were up in arms about this because it's blasphemous what they were saying and what they were doing. So it's really weird, because my issue isn't really with the boots on the ground, okay? They are not the real issue. Most people, I believe, are trying to live their lives to the best of their own abilities. The real issue, in my eyes, is with those who are behind the scenes, those who are creating and driving the agendas. So when they said it was a mistake, etc., etc., they didn't mean to offend anybody. That is not what I believe. It is definitely meant to offend, and it was definitely done to offend people. Nothing is done by accident, people. Trust me on that. So these people, they are using the oblivious foot soldiers to push all their ideologies and to drive a wedge in between us, to create division and a divide. That is my opinion. And they wish to put us against each other, where in reality, most people are keen to live and let live, and not to be basically fighting battles on all fronts. So to put this at the agenda of people's minds and thoughts when we were looking to celebrate a sporting occurrence that happens every 4 years was not a mistake, and it was not done by mistake. It was done deliberately. And moreover, the reason why I am a little bit annoyed is the hypocrisy. Yes, people, the hypocrisy of pitting one belief system against another belief system. And that will not go unnoticed. So you have a belief system where people say they are free to be who they want to be, to live as they want to be. So why are Christians not free to believe what they believe and to be free to celebrate how they wish to celebrate? There is a hypocrisy here, people, an absolute hypocrisy, because one belief system is mocking and it's absolutely not great to another belief system. And I think that is absolutely outrageous, people. What do you think? Am I going over the top here? Because the whole point about what people are saying in certain communities is they want to be free to live the way they wish to be free, and not people not to put their finger and to interfere. So if you want that for yourselves, why don't you want that for other people? Why do you think it's okay to take a dig at someone else, at another belief system? That's my idea about this, people. Anyway, I've just come to the conclusion that this was not done by accident. It was not done by chance. It was done deliberately. And to be honest with you, if you can dish it out, you need to be able to take it. If you can dish out what you dished out this weekend, I think it was on Friday night, you need to be able to take it back, and not to scream and to cry and to vent and to rage and to complain if something else happens back in your direction, people. Because this was you guys dishing it out, so you should be able to take it. And to be honest with you, I am of the firm opinion that sport should be left to sport, and sport alone. As basically politics, religion, all these commercial agendas, blah blah blah, and the people with these ideologies are best placed in another arena. Leave sport to sport. A lot of people just want to be free from all these, because sport is the one place, or it used to be the one place, that was free from all this political agenda, was free from all this nonsense. People could get away from politics. They could get away from their lives, and they could just enjoy 90 minutes, 100 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, of sport in a sporting arena. And then once the sport's over, they get back into the real life of all the other bits and pieces. But now, over the last so many years, this has taken over the entirety of sport, and a lot of us now feel that our sport has been hijacked and we can no longer enjoy sport for sport's sake. And I do remember a few years ago, I think it was 2011, when England, the football team, wanted to put poppies on their shirt to commemorate Remembrance Day, and the FIFA got involved and said that is all politics, this, that and everything else. And England tried on many occasions between 2011 and 2016, and they were denied each and every time. But now, since 2020, it's all changed. Sport is no longer sport. Sport is the arena of the ideologist. Sport is the arena of the political person. It is no longer a sporting arena, and I think that's terrible. But let's get back to this matter in hand. I just want to go back into a couple of bits here that the French were apologising for with this Last Supper sketch, whatever you want to call it. Let's get into it.
And clearly there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group.
So clearly there was no intention to show any disrespect to a religious group. Well, I've seen comments all over, everywhere, from people who aren't even Christian. Say people from the Muslim community who are standing up and saying this is shocking, it's outrageous. So that is just really nice to have the solidarity there with other religious groups. But for these people to say there was no intention, I believe is an absolute Pinocchio nose-growing statement. It really is.
To any religious group. On the contrary, I think that Thomas Joly really tried to really intend to celebrate community tolerance. That was his word yesterday. And
so if you're trying to celebrate community and tolerance, why did you do it in such an integral part of the Christian religion? The Last Supper is one of the most integral parts of the whole religion, and you use that skit to mock it. That is outrageous. Outrageous.
Looking at the result of the polls that we shared, we believe that this ambition was achieved.
And she says we believe this ambition was achieved, which is all about community and sharing. No, the ambition that was achieved was the mockery of the religion. That was the ambition.
If people have taken any offense, we are of course really, really sorry.
It was a ceremony like no other, and those are games like no other.
Really?
I think that our hosts, it's easy for me to say, and we should all be grateful and thankful, they have put together a vision for these games, which is unprecedented. It's an incredible vision for the games. We're trying to showcase that in the best possible way.
Intention n'a jamais été d'être impertinent ou d'être subversif, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure. Notre idée, c'est simplement que oui, dans cette grande diversité, il y a besoin d'être conjointement. Nous avons en tout cas voulu.
So he's saying they want to collectively include everyone. So why are you straight away then striking out over 2 billion people of a Christian faith by this blasphemous representation? Can you imagine if someone did something else to really upset the community that you were trying to portray, to big up and to represent? There would have been absolute uproar. It is absolutely not right.
Besoin d'être conjointement. Nous avons en tout cas voulu nous conjointement inclure tout le monde. Voilà.
How do you think that the Christian faith would feel inclusive when you've literally gone to the center of the faith and made it a mockery, a laughing stock? How?
En France, la création artistique est libre. C'est le premier article de la loi sur la liberté de création. J'en profite comme d'autres libertés en France, dans ce pays. On a la chance de ça. Il n'y avait pas de volonté pour moi de passer de messages plus, militants. C'était simplement des messages républicains. En France, on a le droit de s'aimer comme on veut, avec qui on...
So he says, in France, we're allowed to love who we want and how we want. But a lot of French people are of a religious faith. A lot of French people follow the Catholicism, etc. So how do you feel they are incorporated or feel included into your message? How? I really would love you to tell me that. How?
On veut. En France, on a le droit de croire ou de ne pas croire. En France, on a le droit...
He said, in France, we can believe or not believe. Well, that is the whole essence of life. The tolerance is to be able to believe or not to believe, but it's to be able to tolerate other people. So if you don't tolerate the faith of other people, then you're intolerant, but you're ridiculing this other aspect that you either don't believe in or whatever it is. If it's something that isn't part of your ethos, then just leave it alone. You don't need to make a mockery of it. Can you imagine if people came up and made a mockery of the community that you're supporting? They would be in absolute trouble right now.
On a beaucoup de droits, voilà. Et c'était l'idée de faire transparaître ces valeurs-là à travers la cérémonie.
So we made it very clear from the IOC.
Guys, what do you think? I literally am shaking my head because I don't see that as an apology at all. I just see that as those people behind it sitting in this front row under the Paris 2024 insignia, entrenching themselves and bedding themselves in behind their views, their ideologies, their viewpoints, their standpoint. There is no real apology there at all. It is not something, it's almost like someone's opening their mouth, nothing's coming out, or nothing that makes sense is coming out, people. So I just want you to let me know, do you feel that was a heartfelt apology, or do you just feel they were literally digging themselves in and saying, hang on a second, we stand behind everything we did, and if your nose is put out of joint, then too bad, we don't care. That's the way it seems to me. And also it seems to me that a lot of these people behind all these agendas are very good at dishing it all out, but they are absolutely horrendous and they will refuse to take it. The moment someone will challenge or stand up to anyone, they will run away with their bat and ball, and they will complain to anyone who will listen long and loud. And guys, my man said we should be tolerant, there should be some give and take. Well, at the moment, there is no giving here. It is all taking, people. And yeah, I'd just like to know your thoughts. So let me know down here in the comment section, people. To be honest with you, the majority of people I know are very, very tolerant and inclusive, as opposed to what this guy has done. He's put the cat amongst the pigeons. He's created an issue where there probably wasn't an issue at all, people. And now he's refusing to accept any responsibility. And that is the fact. They do not want to take any responsibility for their actions. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. But make certain, guys, that we live a good life and that we look after each other. We look after ourselves. We go out and have fun, but we do it safely, people. And we don't end up like these people here in the front row, literally doing something that they knew would upset a lot of people. That is not the way. That is not the way, people. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and make sure, more importantly, you come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction, guys.